What's up, my brother? In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact formula so that you can destroy your approach anxiety for good. So that whenever you see this beautiful woman walking in the street, maybe she's sipping a drink in the bar or in the club, you can talk to her without having to go through this crazy drama in your head and with your emotions and stuff like that. And in fact, I'm going to share with you the 5-step system that my clients use to overcome this fear so that they can really attract their woman, like their ideal woman, and go on a date with her. Yeah. So you're gonna love this training because this is the things that I usually teach to my clients. And I thought today, you know what? I don't want to teach this so much with my clients. I would just want to share it publicly so that everyone can benefit this. Yeah. So let's first start with the common excuses that you make when you're about to meet your ideal woman. And you're going to get triggered, but I'm sorry, I'm going to do it anyway. Whenever you say, she's with her friends, that's an excuse. You're bullshitting yourself. Whenever you say, she's on her telephone, that's an excuse. You're bullshitting yourself. Okay? And I know a lot of guys are going to be like, no. She's on her telephone. No, you cannot meet a woman. Have you tried? And when I'm saying have you tried, not just one woman, I'm talking 50 women. Have you tried to approach 50 women on that telephone? What happened? Because I've done that, actually more than 50. And I can tell you that half of women that I have approached when they were on the telephone actually enjoyed me talking to them. And I actually got the numbers. So do not tell me that she's on her telephone and you shouldn't talk to her. Some women really are on their telephone and they don't want to talk and they will let you know, and that's okay. But some women, they want to talk to you. They want to meet a cool guy like you. Also, another excuse that you might say, she doesn't want to meet anyone. She has a headphone. Oh yeah, right. Heard that so many times. Another one, in my city, women don't like to be approached. I even had a client that told me, in San Francisco, you cannot meet women. And then I met a friend of mine that lives in San Francisco a week later and he's like, dude, I live in San Francisco for so many years. I was meeting women there. What is he talking about? Full of shit. Full of shit. You just scared. She's dancing. I can't meet her. Oh yeah, right. Heard that before. There's a guy next to her. Maybe it's her boyfriend. Heard that too. Go find out. If you don't know he's her boyfriend, go find out. And this is the one for my beard bros. I didn't trim my beard today. I don't know if people say that, but I thought it was funny to say it. Like, it doesn't matter how you look. Of course, it matters in a way, but it's not an excuse to not meet women, right? Doesn't matter how you look, go meet women, okay? Now you need to understand, why are you saying all these fucking excuses? Well, it's because you're scared. Now, why are you scared? Let's go into the root of that. So there's actually 5 layers to this. The first one is, it is not safe for you to get out of your comfort zone, right? And I'm not going to talk too much about this right now because we will actually go deep into that later in this training. But it's usually an attachment issue, and I'll explain more later. Also, rejection means you will be rejected from the tribe, right? This is like hardwired in your DNA. So imagine, like back in the caveman age, if you would be rejected from the tribe, it meant death, literal death. Like you're the only one in the forest or wherever they were back then, and there were only wild animals. And if you're just one human against some wild animals, you're fucked. Yeah, even if you have the best tools, you're fucked. So it meant death. Like rejection back then meant death. And imagine, like, we're not so far away from the caveman, you know. So all of these generations of, tribe people, it's still in our DNA in some ways. So that's why when we try to do something outside of our comfort zone, it's a risk. It's a risk for rejection. And in our DNA, it means death. So this we need to overcome as well, right? Also, the conditioning of the society, right? If you're someone like me that was born in a country, a Western country, you know that feminism is big, and it's just tough because you know that it's not accepted to meet women in the streets. And sometimes even in the bars and clubs, right? Like that, it's really fucked up. I feel so weird to say that because I'm like, what? It's weird to meet women in the bars and in the clubs, but for some people it is, and that's just I feel sorry to have to say that, right? Another reason is that your lack of self worth, right? You don't feel good enough, and obviously, if you don't feel good enough, you look at this woman and you're like, I don't deserve her. Of course, you're going to feel approach anxiety if you don't deserve this woman. Of course. And the last root of your approach anxiety is that you're not comfortable being weird, right? Because there is a part of you probably that is a bit of a weirdo, right? We're all a little bit of a weirdo in some ways, right? Some more, some less, but we're a little bit of a weirdo. And we're scared of showing this part of us, right? We're not comfortable being weird. We're judging ourselves so much, right? Because we want to be so perfect. Because we want to show how cool we are, how, attractive we are and stuff like that, that basically we become not comfortable being weird. And if you're not okay with that, it's going to be really hard to meet women because you will end up in situations where it will be weird. It's inevitable. So you need to learn to be okay with that. Stop judging yourself. Yeah. And it's not given to everyone. Now, I want to share with you a story because I am so tired of hearing all these excuses on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media. 2 years ago, I used to live in Medellin, in Colombia. Yeah. So Colombia is not the most dangerous country in the world, but it's one of these countries where it's a little bit dangerous. It's not Norway. Yeah. So I was living in Medellin for 6 months, a little bit more than 6 months actually. And for those that went to Medellin, you probably heard of Centro. Centro is a neighborhood where it's not dangerous, but it's not safe, right? It's in between. It's not the most dangerous neighborhood, definitely not, but it's not the safest neighborhood also. And basically, when I was living there, sometime I was meeting women in this neighborhood, in a kind of dangerous neighborhood, right? The reason why I'm sharing this story is because you have no excuses. Seriously. If I did this, and I could have met women in Poblado, like the most touristic area of Medellin. I could have met women there, and I did actually. But because I wanted to expand my comfort zone, I went to Centro, and I did meet women there. So you have no excuses. I don't care where you live, right? Unless you live in North Korea or maybe Saudi Arabia. All the other countries you can meet women. Just let these excuses go. Let it go. You're just scared, and that's okay. But let's actually deal with the fear rather than coming up with all these excuses, right? So we will actually talk about how to deal with the fear. Don't worry. But first, I want to explain a very powerful concept. When you destroy your approach anxiety, you open a door. Yeah, it really is that. You open this door of like possibility. Possibility of what? To attract your ideal woman into your life. This is really the whole essence of why we do this. We want to destroy the approach anxiety to open that door so that we can meet a cool woman into our life, right? And on top of that, by destroying your approach anxiety, you will become more masculine because you have faced your fears. And if you face your fears, you know that it will naturally increase your testosterone. This is super interesting. I didn't know about this, but you can actually look it up. You increase your testosterone when you've constantly faced your fears. It's actually really good for your brain health, right? And for your health in general. Also, of course, you create more dating opportunities, of course, right? If you meet more women intelligently with the right strategy, which I will give you right now, you will have more date opportunities. And you will develop an unshakable confidence. Because after facing all this adversity, all the rejections, the judgment of others, and the anxiety itself, you become much more powerful, much more strong, much more confident, much more masculine, right? So there's a lot of benefits to do that. Seriously. Like, you really need to understand this. And you have the power to decide from today, literally from today, you can tell yourself, I'm going to face my fears now and I'm going to meet my ideal woman. You can tell yourself this sentence. And after this training, you can go and meet women that you love. Think about it. It's just a decision. It's just a decision. And now let's get into the meat of this training. I've been waiting for this now. So yeah, we're going to talk about the 5 steps here. It's not linear, right? You can really play with these 5 things at the same time or in different time. But these really are the 5 steps that you need to do to absolutely destroy your approach anxiety so it becomes a thing from the past. Really, a thing from the past. And first, you need to learn to feel safe, right? You need to learn to feel safe getting out of your comfort zone. You want to look at it like this. It's like you're building the foundation. You want to have a strong foundation when you take actions, right? The second step is taking action, but first is really like build this foundation, learn to feel safe. And usually, because it's so hard for you to get out of your comfort zone, it's usually connected to your childhood. Yeah. So there's 2 main reasons why you have this big fear of like getting out of your comfort zone. The first one is in your childhood, usually connected with your parents. You didn't get the support you needed when you wanted to explore, when you wanted to try new things, when you were curious about something and you wanted to do it, but your parents weren't there to actually make you feel safe doing something totally new, right? And this, funny enough, creates a mini trauma in your subconscious, right? And that's why right now you have this fear of like getting out of your comfort zone, meeting a new woman. Because deep down in your subconscious, it means that if you meet a woman and you get rejected, you will not get support. Isn't it interesting, right? Because consciously it's not like this, right? But subconsciously it is. Because your subconscious is still stuck in the past. And the past was, if I try something new, I don't have support. I'm all alone. And that's a tough one for a child to experience. The second reason is, and this is the opposite, right? Your parents didn't let you explore, right? They were like, don't do this, don't do that, no, right? I'm sure you recognize yourself. You probably experienced a childhood similar like that, right? And in that case, how fucking difficult it is to get out of your comfort zone if you had someone in the past telling you, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It becomes difficult, right? So if you're experiencing this lack of safety when getting out of your comfort zone, you need to go through an attachment repairing process. And you remember what I said at the beginning. Nobody talks about this. I haven't heard a single dating coach talking about attachment repairing. Not a single one. And if you know anyone, please let me know. I would like to have a discussion with that guy because it's so crucial. And what attachment repairing does is simple. It builds the foundation. That's why maybe you're someone that went on a coaching experience with a dating coach. You overcame the approach anxiety, but then when you came back home and then you didn't meet women for a week, the approach anxiety came back. That's because you didn't have a foundation. Period. And that's actually why a lot of dating coaches are still dealing with approach anxiety. The reason why I'm saying this is because I've met dating coaches and they still deal with this. Isn't it interesting? And they don't understand that you don't have to experience anxiety when you meet a woman in the street, in the bar, in the clubs. You don't have to, right? It doesn't have to be like that. So one thing you can do right now, from today actually, like let's imagine after this training, you go outside and you meet a woman. You can tell yourself this sentence. It is safe for me to meet a woman I feel attracted to. And you repeat that. And I don't care if you live in the West, right? Like US, France, or whatever. It is safe for you to meet a woman. Because if you're watching this, you're not a psycho. You're not a serial killer. You don't have any bad intention. You're a cool guy. So if you're a cool guy, you have good intentions, there is nothing wrong in meeting a woman. So you're safe, brother. You are totally safe. So whoever told you that you shouldn't meet women, that it's bad to meet women and stuff like that, let this person go. Let this person go, right? And go create yourself this experience of meeting a woman from a place of love, from a place of curiosity, from a place of like, I want to find out, right? Seriously. After that, you want to take aligned actions, of course, right? Now, you can also combine both, right? You learn to create a foundation and you take actions. You can do both. So like I said, it's not linear, right? But basically, the way you take aligned actions is super simple. It's 3 steps here. You meet the woman who catch your attention. So you don't meet all the women. No, no, no. You meet the woman that you like, or that, she caught your attention. And then you go find out about her, right? You go talk to her, you find out about her. She caught your attention, you find out about her. This is the whole mindset. You combine that with a 3-second rule, right? Because if you go beyond 3 seconds, you start bullshitting yourself, you overthink, and then you either don't meet the woman, or if you meet her, you fuck it up completely because you're so in your head, so anxious, the cortisol level is super high, and basically, of course, you get a rejection, right? And this leads me to the last point. You want to focus on relaxing your entire body. Yeah, whenever you feel tension in your body, you relax, my brother. Relax that tension. Yeah. I want to share a story here. As you can see, the picture that you can see on my right was me. It was me back then, 7 years ago, just starting to meet women. And this is an embarrassing story because I was in Buenos Aires and I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a community around me and stuff like that. And basically, I decided by myself to start meeting women, right? And it ended up pretty bad. Basically, the first few days of me trying to meet women, I was not capable of meeting women. And then when I started to overcome the fear, I was getting rejected left and right. I didn't have the tools to deal with the foundation, like I said, to deal with my emotions, with my thoughts, with my anxiety. And basically, after 1 week, I just abandoned, right? I just stopped meeting women. And only after 6 months and try again, and then with a mentor, I had a mentor on my side, only then I could actually overcome and start working on myself and attracting the woman that I like. But this is kind of an embarrassing story because I fucked up, right? I fucked up completely and I abandoned. So you're not alone here. Like, that's why I'm sharing this. You're not alone. It is scary to do this. It is tough. It's not easy, but it doesn't have to be that hard, right? If you have the right tools, the right strategy, which is what I'm giving to you right now, it doesn't have to be that hard. Yeah. This is literally a video that I wish I could have watched back then when I was just starting. Because if I would have these tools that I'm going to give you and that I'm giving you right now, it would have been a total different story. But yeah, at the time, I didn't have that, and it is what it is, right? After building this foundation, right? Feeling safe, and then taking actions. What you want to do is you want to manage your thoughts and emotions. Super important. Nobody talks about this. Jesus Christ. They tell you like, fuck your emotions, fuck your thoughts. No. You're repressing your emotions and your thoughts. Don't do that. You got to deal with them, right? So, multiple ways to deal with your thoughts and emotions. The first one is mindfulness. And mindfulness for me has been so powerful. So powerful. Actually, when I was just starting to meet women, one thing that I was doing is I would sit down for 25 minutes, close my eyes, and just observe my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions, right? I would just do that. And man, without mindfulness, I don't think I will be in this place right now talking to you. It had this much impact for me. On top of that, you really want to rewire the limiting stories you are telling yourself when you're going outside trying to meet your ideal woman, right? And these limiting stories can be, I don't feel good enough, she's outside of my league, this woman will never like me for who I am, blah, blah. Like all these limiting stories, right? They are not helping you. Like this internal dialogue that is happening when you meet a woman is not helping you. And you need to change that. And this is super important because if you don't actually change these limiting stories, they will keep on happening and keep on happening and keep on happening. And you will stay stuck forever. So that's why, like, if you're someone that is interested to go really, really deep, I recommend to join my private mentorship. You can send me a message on Facebook. And when you join the mentorship, you can really start working on like dealing with these stories, right? This subconscious blockage that basically like hinder your potential, right? You have so much power within yourself. You have so much confidence. You can be so masculine, but because of all these stories you're telling yourself, you're not that. And for this, it requires a little bit of shadow work, trauma work, and belief shifting practices. This is the stuff that I only teach in my mentorship. The reason why is because it's a very subtle work, and I just cannot teach this publicly. I know it sounds bad when I'm saying this, but it's really the truth. If I would put this out publicly, people will use it the wrong way, and they will hurt themselves. It's a very subtle work that requires experience and expertise, and you just cannot do it like this with a YouTube video. So you need some mentoring. I spent 5 figures on mentorship, so you don't have any excuses with that too. If it feels right for you, if it's time to actually do the work, you need to hire a mentor. It doesn't have to be me, right? It can be someone else, but you need a mentor. Super important. After building the foundation, taking action, managing your thoughts and emotions, you want to reflect on the experience. Super important. So, multiple ways to do that. You can practice journaling, if that's your way. Or if you're like me, you just go outside somewhere that feels comfy, loving, and all of that, and you just start reflecting on the actions that you took, everything that happened this week, right? So usually for me, every Sunday I would go next to the river in Prague, so the Vltava it's called, and I would just walk there and talk to myself about what was good about this week, what was bad, what I could have done better, right? And I would have this self-talk, and it really, really helped me because I allow myself to not repeat the same mistakes over and over and over, right? Because if you don't reflect on the actions that you take, it's going to be terrible. I have a good friend of mine that spent 7 years of his life doing the same mistakes. 7 years. He stayed stuck trying to meet women, not getting attraction for 7 years. I'm not even kidding. It's such a sad story, right? So don't be like him. Reflect. Seriously. And then the last step is what? You have to repeat it. You have to practice this. Because you're not going to get rid of the approach anxiety just like that. It's not magic. It takes time. It takes practice. For me, it took me 9 months. 9 fucking months of constant, struggling, dealing with a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. And obviously, it was not easy, but after getting a mentor, it became effortless, right? I was dealing with the anxiety and stuff like that. I was dealing with these blockages and all of that. But because I had someone allowing me to see things differently, holding me, making me feel safe and stuff like that, I was able to overcome it. And after 9 months, then it became really effortless, right? And then for 2 years straight, I was able to meet women consistently without any approach anxiety. I was in a constant momentum. And then I got a girlfriend, so obviously I had to stop this. But yeah, for 2 years straight, constant approaching, almost no anxiety. I was so relaxed most of the time. It was very, very beautiful. And I didn't have to deal with this constantly, right? It was so enjoyable to meet women. And I really want the same for you. I want this experience of meeting a woman to be so enjoyable, right? You're actually enjoying yourself. You don't have to deal with these crazy emotions and stuff like that. And the truth is, most men will crumble trying to meet women because it's so fucking hard for a lot of them. But as you can see, the strategy is very simple, right? And if you have a mentor on your side, it can be so transforming, right? And this can allow you to attract your ideal woman, go on a date with her, and potentially have sex, and then maybe enter in a relationship if it feels right. This is the doorway. I'm talking about the doorway of meeting your ideal woman, right? So do you want to be like everyone else? Because all men will crumble. Do you want to be like everyone else? Don't have to, man. Think about it. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want more training like this. And if you want to go even deeper, I do have a training on realdatingconfidence.com on how to attract your ideal woman into a long-term relationship. So make sure to check that out too. And I see you when I see you, my brother.